Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dyson Sphere program. My name is Tom, and this is episode number 76. In today's episode, boy, do we have a power crisis on Merrick 4. We are no longer automating our deuterium fuel rods. Deuterium fuel rods are one of the main power sources on Merrick 4, which goes into charging our accumulators and shipping those across different star system. So yeah, we're in quite a bit of a conundrum here. I know that the super magnetic rings is part of the deuterium fuel rod build. It's one of the components that go into automating those. So yeah, we need to get to the super magnetic rings really quickly so that we can ship those back to Merrick 4 to begin automating the deuterium fuel rods. So with that said, guys, let's get started with episode number 76. Okay, I'm going to resume research. And what I want to show you here real quick is, since we have no power on Merrick 4, we're not charging accumulators. Thankfully, throughout the episodes, we stored quite a bit of charged accumulators. So if I were to move this slider up to about 2,500, I would get at least at most 2,500. I'm not going to do that because I have other planets that are demanding the charged accumulators. So I'm going to leave this here for now, and that should be enough for me to automate the super magnetic rings. Another way we can slow down the discharge rate on the accumulators is to back up our gears. So what I'm going to do is to delete these storage boxes and set a limit. So that forces all of these arrays to back up sooner and not put a demand on the power grid. Okay, and it looks like I'm having some issues with some belts here. Oh, we're forgetting an automatic piler. So let's fix that real quick. How did that happen? Okay. All right, so I think I have like 4 or 5 of these arrays, so I'm going to do that right away. Wow, yeah, it looks like I forgot some of the automatic pilers in the blueprint, so I'm also am going to correct this real quick. Okay. All right. Okay, great. And set a limit. Is that the last one? It is. Great. Okay. All right, so I set the limit on all of the arrays, so everything will be backed up, giving me more time with the charged accumulators. Okay, and if you take a look at these yellow dots, that means that these assembly machines are backed up with the component. This array is all backed up already and is in idle mode. Looks good. All right, so the next step to our path to 120 super magnetic ring is to automate the magnetic coils. And so I'm going to bring up the factorial lab on that. And if you take a look here, we need 960 magnetic coils a second. That's 160 assembly machines. I broke that down to 160 here, and then I broke that down further to 4 output belts of the coils. That's a total of 20 magnetic coils in assembly machine, or 20 assembly machines. That's going to give me 120 items a second. And 2 full belts that are 2 stacked of the magnets and 2 belts of copper that are not double stacked. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do this build. That will give us 20 assembly machines. We actually need a total of 160 assembly machines. That's probably going to be like 8 arrays, I think. So let's get started with that. For now, I am going to say I want 5 of these. And I think I'll place it right here. Okay. And so the first thing that I like to do in a new build is start with the outputs. And I need 4 outputs for the magnetic coils. So I will do something like this. Okay, so that is the 4 outputs. Now I need to get 2 stack magnets. So I will place a automatic piler here. Actually, I think I could go in a bit closer. Like that. And so I need 2 belts of magnets. Okay, and those 2 belts of magnets are going to combine into 1 belt. Give me a 2 stack of magnets. And they'll come out like that. Okay, and so the last thing we need is 1 full belt of copper ingots. That will come out from the back. Like this. Okay, and so now we need to do that on the other side. Two belts of magnets combined into 1 belt of magnet, double stacked, and the 1 line of copper ingots. Okay, and yeah, that's the build, guys. That's it. And so that's going to give me 4 full belts of the magnetic coils. And I think we need to place down the spray coaters next. Okay, perfect. I think that spacing looks good with the assembly machines. Ah, yes. And we can... Yeah, we can definitely come with the spray coater like this, or with the proliferator MK3, and transport that over. And that's only going to be the case for this 1 array. What I'm going to do, since I love the logistic distributor and bots, I'm going to make a small little mall for the proliferator MK3. And I'll place a box here, and I'll set this to a limit of 2. Paste, paste. Place a LD there, and I'll say distribute, copy, paste, paste. Okay, and so then we can distribute the proliferator MK3 around the factory with bots. I will set this to a limit of 1,000. Okay. And so now we need to set the filters. So this is going to be the magnetic coils. And we want this to be a production speed up. Looks good. And now we can think about the sorters. So I think we'll start with the inner belt. So we'll go out with the magnets, or the super magnetic. Or nope, the magnetic coils. We'll come out with the magnetic coils on the inner belt, and then we'll pull the magnets from here and the copper ingots from that last belt. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, great. And so we can stick 5 assembly machines on one belt. Okay, so I'll hit Control C, Control V, and then I'll press Tab to align the belts. And there's 5. A total of 10. Okay, so we don't need to use the inner belts any longer. So I will trim those belts back. The next is to get the last 10 on here. So I will do, oops. I will do this. I will copy the filter and paste, extend the belts. Like this. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay. And I will say this is the outgoing. So the magnetic coils are going to be put out on this outer belt and then in with the magnets and in with the copper ingots. We'll do the same thing on this side. Okay. And then I'm going to use Control C, Control V, and then paste 5 of these down. Press Tab to connect the belts. And there's 5. Yep. So that's 10, 20 assembly machines. Those 20 assembly machines are going to give me 4 full belts of magnetic coils. So it's a very small and compact design, but do not underestimate it. It's going to automate magnets really quickly. And we need like 8 of these arrays, which is absolutely ridiculous. So let's add the power. Okay, great. That is the build. So if I say I want some magnets, I'll say 2,500 just because we need quite a bit of these. I'll need some copper ingots, and I'll say, I don't know, we could start with 1,000, see how that looks. Okay. And we need this to be set to the magnetic coils. That looks good. So before I smack down all the other arrays, I'm going to call in the material from the North Pole. So using this ILS, I'm going to say I want some magnets and I want some, actually, let's do copper ingots and magnets. And I'll hit a remote command. Okay, I will do the same thing on this one as well. And finally, I'll do this one. Okay, that looks good. So with that established, I can go ahead and paste down this array, but I'm going to make a modification to it. So I'll hit Control C and then Control V. I'll paste it down here. Okay, and so the slight modification is coming in with the proliferator. So we're actually going to place a splitter here, a storage box, set it to 1, an LD on top. That will call in the proliferator NK3, and we'll set to request. And then we can just belt. Is it off one tile? I think it's off one tile. I thought I was on. Okay, I am off one tile. Son of a gun. So it's going to be like this. Okay, good. And a storage box on there. Okay. Alright, so that is going to bring over the proliferator, and that will go through all the spray coaters. Okay, and so yeah, let's finish up with all of these arrays. So yeah, so this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, and 160. Okay. And so I need to grab a couple of PLS, so I'll say I want 4 of these. And now you guys get the pleasure of watching me build all these arrays. Yeah, you can kind of see all of the arrays kind of wrap around the planet. It's pretty cool looking. So I just noticed that I did not use any storage boxes. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not a big deal to me. We currently don't have the power to run this entire factory consistently. Just because we're not automating the charged accumulators any longer. We're working off a stockpile. So okay, we got 3 more arrays to get done here. I think as this is working, I can queue up some research for our drones. So we'll do communication control level 6. That'll give me +2 construction drone. And we can do drone engine +3 on the drone flight speed. Excuse me. We actually don't need this. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I tried my best to enjoy the weekend. Almost there, guys. We got 2 more arrays. What are we missing here? Okay, this isn't an... Okay, yeah, we still got that in the inventory here, right? Yeah, we have 2 of those. It just doesn't update the blueprint. Even though I have it in the inventory, it still remains white. That's interesting. I think once you put it in the inventory, it should change to green. Okay, this is the final array for the magnetic coils. This is so cool though. I love doing big builds like this. My builds are very minimal. My builds are very minimal and sleek. And yeah, it doesn't invite too much creativity in the build, but it is my style. I think what I will do once we reach the super magnetic rings, which is 120 assembly machines, maybe I could do one big build of those using the automatic pilers. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys want me to be a bit more creative in my designs, and I would agree. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so yeah, let's demand the components and materials. And let's see how quickly this fills up here. This is going to automate super fast. So this is 20 assembly machines. If we were not using the proliferator MK3, this would be actually 40 assembly machines, I think. So this would have been a double the build in size. So we're saving a lot of room. Okay, and as you can see, all of the assembly machines are automating, and look how quickly we are producing magnetic coils. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. And this is why I love this so much, is that I got this really small, compact build that is outputting magnetic coils at this rate. What's the rate of it? I think it's... Okay, yeah, it's 120 magnetic coils right now that we're producing a second on this one array. So it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So I'm just upping up the amount of copper ingots here. Okay, and look at that, guys. This PLS is already full of magnetic coils. And so yeah, I think we could do the same thing here. We'll hit demand and demand. I am going to end the episode here very shortly. My jaw is giving me a lot of pain just because I had my wisdom tooth extracted this last Friday. So I hope you guys understand. Okay. Excellent. And so let's take a look at this, guys. Look at this. What a great start to this planet. It's looking good already. I'm liking it. It's so busy. Look at all these drones. It's a beehive. I can't laugh too hard, guys. My jaw is... I can barely open my mouth as is, so... This is already backed up with magnetic coils. That looks good. This is backed up. Excellent. Okay, guys, that is episode number 76. If I bring up the Factorio Lab here, I think the next thing we're going to automate in episode number 77 is going to be the electric motors and hopefully the electromagnetic turbines. So yeah, these are quite a bit of these. So excellent, guys. Thank you for joining me in episode number 76 and automating the magnetic coils. We are on our path to the super magnetic rings, 120 a second. We will be automating our deuterium filler rods really shortly, and everything will work out. So with that said, guys, again, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Take care, and yeah, goodbye.